Hello guys, welcome to my channel Chem Insider. So in today's class we are going to discuss about more topic of chemical bonding. In the previous video we have discussed about certain scientists explaining something regarding for the chemical bonding experienced by two atoms. So whenever two atoms are combining to form a molecule of an element or a compound, it has to share some amount of attraction between each other in order to get them chemically bonded. So we discussed that several scientists gave several propositions, and in that first we discussed about Koechlin and Lewis explanation. Later we also come across the octet rule, which was discussed in the last end of the video. Now in this topic what we are going to discuss is Langmuir, the scientist who proposed that the structure which was explained by Lewis was almost good enough but not absolutely good. So therefore what he did was he discarded some one or two propositions made by Lewis and altered Lewis theory in order to explain certain possibilities of how an atom is being bonded with other atom. That is, he completely removed off the concept of cubical arrangement. That is, in the previous video we discussed about cubical arrangement, which was explained by Lewis for elements to or electrons to get bonded or to occupy each corners of the cube. So Langmuir, what he did was he completely removed this, discarded of this the concept of cubical arrangement in order to form octet structure. So he gave away some explanation of how an atom is found to be forming a bond. That is, if you consider an element such as chlorine, so it has electronic configuration of 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. Right? It has electronic configuration of 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. So now according to the octet rule, it is only stable when it has octal configuration of argon, in which we have 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2 and 3p6. So therefore what we can say is chlorine requires one electron in order to form 3p6 kind of arrangement. Therefore Langmuir explained that whenever a chlorine atom reacts with one more chlorine atom, what they do is they share their one electron among themselves. They mutually share their electrons among themselves in order to obtain an octet configuration. Like for example, if you consider chlorine bonding with chlorine, he said that chlorine gets bonded with one more atom of chlorine by sharing electron, which is represented by the dot structure of Lewis. So now if you consider two chlorine atoms, let us say I am considering one in yellow, which has 7 valence electron, that is 2 plus 5 in the valence shell. So it has 7 valence electron, and one more chlorine has 7 valence electron in it, such as like this. So now what they do is these chlorine atoms share these two electrons. These chlorine atoms share those two electrons to form a structure similar to like this. So now the complete nucleus pair of chlorine atom is having influence over the single chlorine of the other atom, and that chlorine atom will be having influence over the one of the electrons of the other chlorine atom. So therefore what they do is these two electrons are attracted towards the nucleus of left chlorine, and these two electrons again are attracted towards the nucleus of right chlorine. So as a result, those two electrons experiences a kind of attraction. That attraction is said to be as a covalent attraction. That attraction was said to be as a covalent attraction, and the bond formed due to sharing of electrons between two atoms. The bonds formed between two atoms because of mutual sharing of electrons is called the covalent bond. So now in this video we are going to completely discuss about what is a covalent bond and how it is formed. So now what do you mean by a covalent bond? When two atoms of same element or different element. When atoms of two atoms of same element or different element mutually share electrons in order to form a kind of attraction. That attraction is nothing but a chemical bond which is called as the covalent bond. So how do you exactly define chemical bond or covalent bond? It is a type of bond which is arising because of mutual sharing of electrons between atoms of same element or of different element in order to obtain stable octet configuration. So certain elements may share electrons among themselves in the atomic nature or in kind of a compound nature in order to form a kind of octet rule or follow octet rule by obtaining octet configuration. That type of bond formed is called the covalent bond. Now if you consider for this chlorine atom, this chlorine has now 8 electrons in it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it has octet configuration with 8 electrons. This chlorine also has 8 electrons, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so even though those chlorine atoms have 7 electrons in their valence shell, since they have shared 1 electron with the other chlorine atom, they are now obtained the octet rule of electrons. So they have a octet electrons amount present in them. Okay, so this is how a covalent bond works. Not just this, you can consider one more example of water molecule. So now, if you consider water molecule, what happens here is, let us say oxygen atom. So oxygen's electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So it requires 2 electrons to obtain 8 electrons in its valence shell. So the number of electrons in its valence shell is 6. So it means it requires 2 more. It requires 2 more to form 8 electrons. So those 2 electrons will be given by 1 electron each from hydrogen. So 1 electron each from the hydrogen fulfills the requirement of octet electrons in the valence shell of oxygen. So therefore, if you write the structure of oxygen with 6 electrons in its valence shell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what happens here is hydrogen shares 1 electron with each. Hydrogen shares 1 electron with oxygen to form a bond. So this is given as like this. Okay, and these 2 electrons which are not getting bonded with any of their atoms are called the lone pair of electrons. We'll come to that later. First we just discussed about the covalent bond. So this is how a covalent bond forms. Okay, so now there are certain rules which have to be followed in order to form a covalent bond. So what are those? First, whenever an element has to form a covalent bond, it has to share electrons at least one with one another. So first rule states that if a covalent bond has to be formed, that means that 2 atoms which are combining should share 1 electron each. So the first rule states that, or the first concept of proposition of Langmuir was 2 combining atoms. Whenever 2 atoms are combining, that is the 2 combining atoms will share 1 electron each. Will share 1 electron each with each other mutually. 1 electron each mutually. Okay, so you will mutually share 1 electron each, and that type of bond is called a covalent bond. Next, the second rule, the 2 combining atom automatically after sharing electrons obtain noble gas configuration. So once the element or atom of an element has shared its respective number of electrons, it obtains its respective noble gas configuration. Like for example, in the previous case of chlorine, it had obtained 3s2 3p6 kind of a noble gas configuration. which is similar to that of argon when it is sharing electrons with the other chlorine atom. Similarly, if you take multiple examples, like for example carbon tetrachloride. So if you take an example of carbon tetrachloride, CCl4, we have carbon with 4 valence electron and chlorine with 5 valence electron. Chlorine with 7 valence electron. So each of the chlorine atom requires 1 electron each in order to obtain octet configuration. So if you write on the structure for carbon, it has 4 electrons in its valence shell, and each of those electrons will be shared with 4 different chlorine atoms. So if you consider this chlorine atom, it has 8 electrons in it. This one has 8, 8 and 8 for each of the chlorine, and further carbon carries 8 electrons from the 4 of its valence shell and 1 electron each of the chlorine atom which is attached. So this is how a covalent bond arises. Now for what if an atom is sharing more than 1 electron or more than one, like two pair of electrons or 3 pair of electrons, then we come across a multiple bonds topic. That is, if an atom is sharing 1 electron with another atom, it is bonded singly. That is, like for example, if you consider oxygen with hydrogen, these two are bonded with single covalent bond. So this results in single covalent bond. That is because oxygen and hydrogen are sharing 1 pair of electron, and in the other case, on the right hand left hand side, these two are again a single covalent bond. This is again a single covalent bond. So whenever two atoms are sharing 1 pair of electrons, one from each of them, then those are said to be bonded with a single covalent bond. Okay. In some cases, for example of carbon dioxide, if you consider carbon dioxide, it has carbon sharing 2 pair of electrons with 2 different oxygen atoms. If you write on the Lewis dot structure for carbon over here, so carbon which has 4 electrons in its valence shell will be sharing those electrons with 2 electrons of oxygen. So oxygen has 2, 4, 6. Okay. Now on completing the octet structure, this oxygen has 8 electrons, this oxygen has 8 electrons, and carbon has 8 electrons. Okay. So whenever two atoms are sharing more than 1 pair of electrons, that is, carbon is sharing 2 electrons with this oxygen atom, and this carbon is sharing 2 electrons with this atom. So whenever one or two atoms share 2 pair of electrons between themselves, between 2 atoms, just this and this carbon. So these two atoms are sharing 2 pair of electrons between themselves, and that type of bond is called multiple bonds, especially secondary bond. So whenever two atoms are sharing 2 pair of electrons between themselves, then they are said to be bonded through a double bond. Okay, then they are said to be formed by bonded with a double bond. That is what a double bond means. Single covalent bond means it should be sharing 1 pair of electrons between themselves. In case of double bonds, they will be sharing 2 pair of electrons between themselves. And in case of nitrogen, if you consider for the nitrogen molecule, nitrogen shares 3 electrons. Nitrogen shares 3 electrons with another nitrogen molecule, where 1 pair of electrons will be as a lone pair, that will be non-reacting pair. So if you calculate the number of electrons in this case, nitrogen has 8, this nitrogen also has 8 electrons. Okay, so whenever two atoms are sharing 3 pair of electrons between themselves, then they are called to be said to be triply bonded, and the bond is present between them is triple covalent bond. So this is triple covalent bond, and this case is double covalent bond, or simply said as double bond, triple bond, single bond. Okay, so there are three different types of bonds. There might be quadruple bond also, but we observe it in rare cases. So usually we come across single bond, double bond and triple bond. If two atoms are sharing one pair of electrons between themselves, they are bonded through single covalent bond. If two atoms are sharing two pair of electrons between themselves, then those are called double bond. If two atoms are sharing three pair of electrons between themselves, then they are called triple bond. Okay, so this is how happens to be the structure of the molecule. So Langmuir explained all these concepts using certain postulates which was used by Lewis. But the structure which he explained was not completely useful in order to study the concepts of molecular properties, etc. Therefore, what we come across is there was certain criteria where it only can be explained by this particular explanation of covalent bond, and those concepts are how an element or an atom is gaining a charge in its radical form. If it is combined with one another, how it is going to get a positive charge or a negative charge, and how particular octet structure is possible for a given radical component. Okay, so what we observed over here was the explanation which was given by Langmuir was not completely useful for explaining all the molecular behavior of a given molecule, but certain criteria were explained by the Langmuir process, and those were, so if you consider an atom being formed, a molecule or a compound being formed, then it has to come across with explanation in order to know how it is being formed, which was useful using the Lewis dot structure. So if you know how to write the given molecule's Lewis dot structure, it would be very clear for you to understand the formation of that particular compound. Okay, so how to write a Lewis dot structure for a molecule? So there are certain rules to write the Lewis dot structure for a molecule. So first we'll start with the basic rules, and then we'll write certain structures of some examples or some compounds. Okay, the first rule says that we need to calculate the total valence electrons present in the given compound. First, the total number of valence electrons are to be found. First, we need to find out the total number of valence electrons present in the given compound. That is, each of the atom has certain amount of valence electron, and each of the atom requires certain amount of electrons to form its noble gas octet configuration. Like for example, if you consider CH4 molecule, carbon has 4 valence electrons, and each of the hydrogen has 1 valence electron. So therefore, 4 hydrogen means 4 valence electron. Therefore, the compound of CH4 molecule carries 8 valence electrons. So first what you have to do is, you need to calculate the number of valence electrons in the given molecule or a compound. So in this case of CH4, carbon carries 4 valence electron, hydrogen carries 1 valence electron, because hydrogen forms a duplet structure, whereas all other elements forms a octet structure. So hydrogen has 1 electron each in its valence shell, so 4 hydrogen will be carrying a 4 valence electron. The overall number of valence electrons will be 8. Okay, so next, in the second point, what we observe is, whenever a positive charge is formed or a negative charge is formed, it means of addition or subtraction of electron from the nucleus of an element. Like for example, if you consider CO3 2 minus, and NH4 plus, if you consider CO3 2 minus and NH4 plus, CO3 2 minus, the 2 minus present on the CO3 as a superscript is nothing but 2 electrons are added to it. 2 electrons are added to the neutral CO3 molecule. So 2 electrons are added to CO3 in order to form CO3 2 minus structure. Okay, that means in the second point what we observe is, if a radical or a compound carries a negative charge, it means that the two electrons, if it has certain amount of charges, like for example of -2 in case of CO3, that means we are added 2 electrons to the CO3 nucleus. If we are considering for NH4 plus, that means we have removed 2 electrons, sorry, we have removed 1 electron. 1 electron is removed or 1 electron is subtracted. 1 electron is subtracted from NH4 molecule. Okay, so 2 minus or minus symbol indicates that electrons are added to the nucleus of a neutral molecule. Plus symbol indicates that electrons are removed from the nucleus. Okay, so that is what second point says. If a positive charge is formed, that means electrons are subtracted from the neutral nucleus. If negative charge is formed, that means electrons are added to the nucleus of a neutral molecule. Okay, that is the second point. If positive charge is formed, that means electrons are removed from the nucleus. If negative charge is formed, that means electrons are added to the nucleus. Okay, and the third point what we observe over here is, if you know the skeletal structure and chemical symbol of the compound given, like for example if they say carbonate, if they say carbonate, you need to know its chemical symbol and you need to know its approximate chemical formation. If you consider for CO3, we know CO3 cannot be formed by direct reaction of carbon with oxygen. So we need to draw some chemical possibilities, like for example C double bond O. C double bond O, this is for carbon dioxide. So now if you have to add oxygen, so you might get like this, or you might get like the structure of like this. But what you have to observe over here is it has to satisfy the rule of octet structure. But if you consider in this kind of situation, the octet rules of oxygen are possible, but for carbon it is not possible. So therefore, we can consider a structure where it bonds with all the elements and it requires 1 or 2 electrons present. So like for example, if carbon is considered with the kind of this condition, so if you write this as the possible skeletal structure, out of these two, carbon is electropositive when compared to oxygen. So therefore, if you add electron to the species, what happens is electrons will be going to the oxygen atoms. Okay, electrons prefer going to the oxygen atom rather than to the carbon atom. So therefore, what we have to observe over here is, we need to satisfy carbon's octet structure first. So instead of considering this type of possibility, we can consider a different possibility where carbon is double bonded with one of the oxygens and singly bonded with 2 other oxygens. Okay, so now if you consider the electrons of this, 2 electrons here, 2 over here, 2, totally 8 electrons, clearly says 8 electrons is possible for oxygen, carbon, and similarly in this case oxygen has 2 lone pair of electron, 2 lone pair of electron and 2 bonding pair electron, and this oxygen has 8 electrons. Now in these two cases they have 2 lone pair of electron and 2 lone pair of electron. Okay, and since it has just bonded with 1 electron, that means it will be left with 1 electron on both oxygens. So 1 electron over here and 1 electron over here. So this clearly shows that 2 electrons that are added to CO3, therefore 2 electrons giving us -2 charge. 2 electrons giving us -2 charge. Now if you consider for NH4, so this is NH3. Now it will be bonding and a bond with hydrogen, one more hydrogen atom. That means ammonia which had 2 electrons has been lost to hydrogen. So if you break down this bond, that means what happens over here is, this is 1 electron of nitrogen, 1 electron of nitrogen, 1 of nitrogen and 1 of nitrogen. Usually nitrogen should carry 5 electrons when it is not bonded. Since there is just 4 electrons now in this nitrogen species, that means it has lost 1 electron. That means we are saying 1 electron is removed. Therefore it carries a positive charge. Okay, so if you know the chemical symbol of the given compound and its approximate skeletal structure, you can write the structure of the given radical, which is formed by the Lewis dot structure. Okay, so this is how we can alter for the given number of electrons present in the Lewis dot structure. Now, the last point which is very important is the electrons which are present in the oxygen. So if you observe over here, these electrons which are present on the oxygen atom, that is the lone pair of electrons, we said them as lone pair of electrons earlier. That is because whenever a molecule has excess amount of electron, like for example oxygen, nitrogen or halogens, those elements which require just 2 electrons, like for example oxygen has 6 electrons in its valence shell, it has to share just 2 electrons in order to obtain an octet structure. Therefore, 2 electrons will be reacting to form octet covalent bond, but the other 4 electrons will not be reacting. So, whenever an atom has to form multiple bonds, first it has to form a single bond. If the single bond is completely satisfied, then only it can bond with the lone pair of electrons. If the single bond satisfies the octet structure, then the lone pair of electrons will not be involved in any bond formation, as this oxygen has already obtained its 8 electron configuration. If it hasn't obtained that particular configuration, what happens is those electrons then react to form a octet structure. Like for example, just say if we consider nitrogen over here, which had 1 lone pair of electron and 3 electrons, bonding electrons, right? It had 3 bonding electrons. So if you consider these two, oxygen has 1 extra electron when compared to nitrogen. Therefore, oxygen has to satisfy just 2 electrons in order to form an octet structure. But nitrogen has to satisfy with 3 electrons in order to form octet structure. So, any atom first satisfies its octet structure, and then only if it not is satisfied with sufficient amount of electron, then it uses excess electron. And those electrons which are not used for bonding are called as lone pair of electrons. The electrons which are not involving in a bond formation are called the lone pair of electrons, and the electrons which are involved in bond formation are called bonding electrons. Okay, so this is all about the covalent bond and the Lewis dot structure for the formation of covalent bond. In the next class, we will discuss some structures and formal charge and the limitations of this octet rule. Thank you for watching.